Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to Basic Engineering Mathematics, chapter number 4. We are discussing chapter number 4, whose name is Using a Calculator, and that this episode is the last episode of this series, and this is, of course, most important episode as well. In this episode, we will try to discuss a new topic, and this topic is basically, you can say that this topic will cover all the previous 6 episodes practically or in a single topic. When we are going to evaluate the formulas, evaluation of formula, in which we will try to discuss how, if for example, if we have an equations, then how we can solve the equations with the help of calculator. Definitely when we are talking about the engineering questions, numericals, there are very complex cases as well, in which all the previous operation that we had discussed, for example, in the previous episode we also use this key, we introduce these keys, we introduce the setup of the calculator, we introduce the log keys, not log key, we introduced sine, cos, tan, we introduced this key, we introduced shift key, too many keys we introduced, engineering key as well. So in this episode I will try to cover all the previous episode in a single episode, because this is the last episode. You can say that this is a summary of the whole discussion. So let's start. The statement y equals mx plus c, this is a linear equation. You can see that its maximum order or higher order is 1 variable power. If variable power is less than 2, then it can be said that this is first order equation, linear equation, y equals mx plus c. This is a general equation, and this is here you can see that y, it is dependent on x here, because when here x and y, there are two variables, while m and c are constants. When I say find the value of y, but it depends upon the value of x. If I change the x, for example 2, 3, then the value of y will change, so it depends upon x. So it is called the formula for y in terms of mx and c. There are 3, these are called symbols. Y, this is a symbol, m is a representation of something, x is representation, c is also a representation. When given values of m, x and c, we can evaluate the y. Many type of formula are used in engineering level, so that's why this video is very helpful for you. Maybe most important 4 sets of equations are, we will try to discuss in this episode 4 important set. Definitely we cannot discuss all the things in a single episode, but we will try to cover mostly what we can. So we will try to discuss, we will try to insert numbers in place of the symbols. Definitely this is a representation of a general equation, and in this episode we insert or replace these constants or these variables or simply these symbols with some specific certain values to explain how we can find with the help of calculator important equations. These are the 4 important sets of equation. This is the simple equation, y equals mx plus c, as I previously explained, straight line graph equation. Ohm's law, very important, mostly used in the electrical engineering whenever we try to find the current, voltage. This is very important. So v equals ir, velocity, first Newton's velocity motion equation, motions equations. This is vf is equals to vi plus at. You may be discussed in this representation, but here I just wrote here v equals to u plus at. This is vf basically, vi basically. So force is expressed as f equals to ma, as you know. So let's start from the very basic. In an electrical circuit, the voltage v is given by Ohm's law. In every example I will provide you the formula, because we did not discuss any theoretically lecture before this for on the Ohm's law, or for example on a straight line equations. So that's why in every example I will provide you from myself all the formulas that are used in this equation, and I will try to provide these, for example current not in milliampere, its ampere, and R is equals to 14.76 ohms. And I didn't write here R is equals to 14.76 kilo ohm, because I want to make this episode very simple. I just want to provide you the touch of this calculator, how we can solve this. V equals IR. If we want to calculate this, simply we need I and R. This is I, so I just replace I with 5.36 ampere and replace R with 14.76 ohms. If it was in milliampere, then we have to change this kilo ampere, then we have to change it to find the actual answer in volts. But as I already explained, I want to make it simple as possible, because right now this is not our topic of the discussion. So just typing 5.36 multiplied by, I can also use brackets, either, or I can use this multiplication sign. 14.76 bracket can be closed. If I didn't use bracket here, then that's also fine. 79.1136. So this is the round off answer. I didn't repeat the round off procedure again and again. So example number 2. The surface area A of a hollow cone is given. Again the formula is provided us. How first of all we have to write it here. Pi, this is the shift key, and then the raised power 10 key. Then R, we need R. Where is the R? This is the R, 3.0 centimeter. Just type here 3, no need to change this, it's already in the simplified form. And L, that is 8.5, sorry, 8.5. Then just press equal sign, and if answer is not in decimals, shift it to decimal. 80.11. You can see that 80.11 centimeter square as well area units. Not focusing on our units right now, just try to solve this evaluation, how we can solve with the help of calculator. Now we are focusing toward V equals to motion equation. If we have the initial velocity 9.54, let's say this is u, and just replace it in here in the place of the u, 9.54, and a, what is the acceleration here? This is 3.67 meter per second square. And what is the time? That at the end we have to multiply the acceleration with the time. So time is 7.82 seconds. So just type very simple 9.54, then we have to add sign plus, then add brackets because we want to multiply, but calculator already know, but make sure you have a practice of this type to avoid the mashup in the big questions. And this is the answer, 38.2 meter per second. So question number 4, the area A of a circle is again given. A is equals to pi r square, so we need pi first of all, then r. What is the r? R is multiplying here it is 5.23 meter, 5.23, and its square is required as in the formula. So 85.93. if we want to round off, then we can round off. So now we need the density formula. Density is mass per unit volume. So if we want to calculate the density, for example, we have a 6.54 kg of the mass, then first of all, this is a fractional case. We have also used this key, we already discussed in the previous episodes. Editing the numerator, that is the mass is 6.45, and now replacing the volume with this volume. This is 300 into 10 raised to power minus 6. I can either press multiply type 10 and then shift key and using this power key, or this is a simple key. If I has a base 10, power is minus 6, just type this. This is the answer. You can see that very simple. The last example, the power is in watts dissipated by an electrical circuit. Power is equals to IV, and this formula is derived basically from here, not focusing here. P is equals to V square by R. And if we have a voltage of 230, again fractional portion, then we have to type this first. Editing the numerator, this is V square. What is the V? 230, and its square is needed. Then go to the denominator and type the R, that is 35.63, and now our power is 1484 point something, that is the watts. But mostly we have to represent this type in engineering, we have to represent these watts in mostly in kilowatts if their watts are more than 1000. So just press this engineering key, then this 10 raised to power 3, this is kilo, 1.4 kilowatt. Very simple. That's why this function is called engineering function. Very simple. Okay. Further discussion will be continued on our Facebook page, and also homework is on our Facebook page, because this homework I will add some further questions, solved questions. So that's why I made a file of the homework, and I will try to add the in description, but I did not promise you. I will upload on a Facebook page. Okay, so further discussion, the next chapter will be continued on the same days. Watch, learn, grow. See you next time.